Welcome to Expanding Your Search with Brent and Jodi Bailey. We are growing our circles of connection and knowledge with encouraging conversations and positive communications. Today, Brent and Jodi welcome.
We are so excited to end our Vindication Wednesdays with Sergeant Gary Travis. Todd Terry joins us.
And now, here are your hosts, Brent and Jodi Bailey.
Hey everybody, welcome to Vindication Wednesdays. It's our last one of the season here at Expanding Your Search. I'm Brent Bailey, and we have got a great show planned for you today. Man, I'm so excited to have Todd Terry with us today. We're going to talk about his career. We're going to talk about serving God as an actor in Hollywood, and we're also going to talk about this fantastic season that just concluded here at Vindication. So it's going to be a great show. Buckle in. Tell somebody that Sergeant Travis himself is with us today right here on Expanding Your Search. Right now we're heading over to the control room where Jodi's standing by.
Let's do this.
And
hey.
Man, it's an exciting day today.
It is an exciting day. I mean, let me just tell you. We are so excited to have Todd Terry on the show with us today.
Yeah.
I mean, he is. I'm so honored. That's what I kept saying. I'm so honored. I'm so honored to have you on the show.
I know, and you know, we've seen. Of course, we've seen him in so much. He's been doing this for so long. He's been in so many things. He's really, you know, he's one of those guys you see and you go, I know I've seen him in other things.
Yeah.
And so we're so excited to have him with us today, and he'll be coming out here in just a little bit. Just a super nice guy.
Really, really nice.
Super great guy, and really just excited for you guys to get the chance to meet him and to hear from him today. So, before we get to that, though, let's talk about what's going on around the country. What's happening?
Well, let me just tell you, today is National Stress Awareness Day.
Oh, well.
So, I don't know if that...
I've completely failed that already, so...
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means that we're supposed to accept the fact that there is stress in the world and to be aware of that. I would say that we should be, because, you know, you look at some people and sometimes people react certain ways and you're like, what is wrong with you? We never know exactly. They may have so much stress in their lives. I mean, I've seen people at the store, at Walmart, yelling at a cashier. I can't stand it, but I have to step back and go, it's not okay. However, they may have a lot of stress going on right now. Maybe a loved one is sick and they're dealing with that. You just never know. But so I guess we need to be aware of it. But what are we going to do? What do you do about it?
Yeah, what do you do about it?
Well, I know as Christians, you know, we need to turn to the Word. And I know for me, a lot of times, you know, turning on worship, I'm going to just say, a lot of times I get busy and I don't turn it on. But when I do turn on worship music, that stress really starts to melt away. And I would say, you know, if you are a believer and you're experiencing stress, you're very aware of your stress today or any day, you know how to get a hold of worship music and you know how to accept the presence of God into your life.
That's right.
So, you know, we all experience it. We all have responsibilities that can cause stress in our lives. So I would just encourage you to do just that.
Yeah.
So also, I will say this, because if you have an Apple Watch, the Apple Watch reminds you to just breathe.
Breathe. That's right. That's right. Do your breathing exercises. So.
Yeah. So,
all right.
anyway,
what else is going on?
National Housewives Day.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah. So those, I wouldn't say that I'm a traditional housewife because, you know, we work out of the home and a lot of times, and then we have our studio. But yeah, I guess, you know, I mean, I can consider myself that. But those of you, every day should be Housewives Day. Wow. Honestly, you know, taking care of the family, taking care of.
What are we supposed to do to observe this day today?
Well, those of you that are not housewives but are living in the house of a housewife, take them to dinner, make them dinner.
Yeah.
Clean the bathrooms, do whatever.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it does. So,
So where are we going tonight? You pick the place, and I'll take you there.
Okay. I'll think of where to go. And then
I failed at that. I
You
should probably
did.
say where you're going. That's what I should.
yeah, I don't
All
know
right,
yet.
go ahead.
So,
What's next?
the last one is National Sandwich Day.
Oh.
Sandwich Day. I don't know that saying that was sounded funny, but yeah. So, what's one of your favorite sandwiches, Brent?
Well, I'm not a big sandwich person anymore.
But if you,
I mean, are we talking besides burgers? I mean, we're actually, or burgers concluded in sandwich?
I would say let's talk besides burgers, because burgers could go in so many different ways. But a sandwich, like if you were going to have a sandwich, what would it be? What would be on it?
I mean, I'm a traditionalist. I mean, I like the bologna and cheese sandwich with mayonnaise, but I mean, I can also like a turkey sandwich or roast beef or anything. I like all of those kind of things. But then I mean, if I'm going to have a sandwich, I'll do whatever, meatloaf or I don't care. I mean, it's hard to fail
with a
at
sandwich.
making a sandwich.
Right. If you fail, I know that there was a show on the Food Network, and the guy that hosted it, I don't remember his name. It was all about sandwiches. Like he's the sandwich guy, and so different kinds of things. Now we did the sandwich, the Monte Cristo sandwich,
which was very good,
was so good,
and you did it in such a healthy way.
I
we
did.
used the Ezekiel bread, and,
yeah, it was good,
and all of that. Rest of the way down.
So yep. I know the traditional Monte Cristo is like really, really fried bread. To me, it's the good one is got some breading on it, extra breading and deep fried, and I love that. So I would go with that. So drop down below and let us know what is your favorite sandwich.
Yeah,
what do you prefer? Maybe it'll kind of spark something within us, and we'll be like, "Ooh, that sounds good."
Well,
We'll have to
speaking
try
of
it.
sandwiches, Quiznos has a unique bison Reuben sandwich. Bison. I don't know if it's any good.
Interesting. That's got to be expensive.
I don't know. I mean, Quiznos is not cheap anyway.
No, it's not. And I like Quiznos.
It's not a 5-star, $100, meal
but bison,
or anything. But
I mean, that's different.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's some very interesting news. We've been talking about mashup stuff a lot.
Yes.
And I don't understand some of these things that are going on. Tropicana, orange juice?
Yes, orange juice, yeah.
Has introduced a toothpaste. Stay in your lane,
Seriously.
people. Stay in your lane.
Well, they always say, once you've brushed your teeth, if you drink your orange juice, it's just
it's
such
gross,
it's
right?
Gross.
Yes.
So why?
Yes, I guess they're trying to bridge that gap.
Okay.
Yeah, it says here, I can 100% guarantee that orange juice messes up your clean mouth feeling right after you brush your teeth. That flavor is an intruder. So now they're trying to bridge the gap and have a toothpaste that's flavored by orange juice. So
that sounds disgusting.
So anyway,
yeah.
There's that. So
interesting.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
All right.
It's weird.
I don't understand why people cannot just stay in their lane and just you've made billions of dollars and it's right here in Florida. You can drive way down there to what is that?
That city. I don't remember.
It's something
but
Wales. Lake Wales.
Lake Wales, yes.
And just off Lake Wales, Tropicana still has a big factory down there. And you know what? I don't see anywhere in there that gives you the quality to build toothpaste.
No.
Sorry.
No. That's no.
So yeah.
Stay in your lane. I like that.
Stay in your lane. Okay. Also, you remember Del Taco?
Yes, I like Del Taco.
Yes.
It's still around.
They have introduced a new Takis item into their menu. You know what Takis are?
Yes.
The little and they're really hot, actually.
Yes, they are.
They are introducing into their menu, like, instead of nachos, it's Takis.
Okay.
Which, the kids like.
Our kids
really
like
that.
Takis. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that'd be good.
So, there's a lot of things that are crossing over.
Yes.
In that. So,
interesting.
I'm just looking to see if there's any other. Now, if this is true, this may change the entire game right here.
Yeah.
Subway is testing a new one net carb hero bread.
What?
You would have thought they would have done that a long time ago.
You would have, yes.
But Subway is, if this holds true, they are on the precipice of making billions.
Yes,
which
they
they
are.
already are. But
Yeah.
can you imagine how many people have stopped eating Subway because they don't want the carbs?
Right.
And they're tired of the salads.
Right. Exactly. There's
One
only
net
so
carb
many.
hero bread.
Oh my gosh. See now, that's.
I mean, I'm
Well,
excited.
I'm
just
down to
thinking
try
about
it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we like to buy low carb bread anyway.
Yeah.
And I think the ones that we buy are like 2 or
But
3.
finally, it's going to
still.
get some, mainstream stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about that. That's definitely a plus.
All right.
So we'll have to try that out.
Last thing, and then we'll move on. Nestle is bringing us. Now, we've already seen it. We talked about this. Cinnamon Toast Crunch has their own milk.
Yep.
Snickers has their own milk.
Yep.
Other people. Fruit Loops is now getting into the act and having
Okay.
their own brand of milk.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand the
I
whole
don't.
crossover
I
thing.
don't know why they.
But I mean, you got to admit, when you get done eating Fruit Loops, that
It's
milk at the
good.
bottom is good.
It is good. It is really good. But it's just funny because it's already done. You already. So I guess it's just a way to make money, but you have to spend money to make money.
That's
so
right.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Well, that's what's going on around the country. I'm so excited to get to talk to Todd Terry right now. He's going to be out here in just a second as we expand your search. My guest today is somebody we've been waiting to talk to for a while. He is a native of Dallas, Texas, or as he likes to say, a Dallasite. I've often wondered how you say that. But he began his career in television, film, theater. He's kind of done it all. 35 years he's been in the business. He studied theater at the National Youth Theater of Great Britain, the American Conservative Theater in San Francisco, and Professional Actors Conservatory in Los Angeles. He has 4 films coming out next year. He has not sat around and let moss grow under his feet for sure. He's going to be in Unbreakable Boy with Zachary, Levy, and Patricia Heaton. He is going to be in The Senior with Michael Chiklis and Mary Stuart Masterson, Running the Bases with Cameron Arnett and Brent Varvel. And, man, I've heard a lot of good things about this. The last film, Pulled from Darkness. We can't wait to kind of talk to him about that as well. You may recognize him not just from, of course, our favorite show, but he's also been on a lot of our other favorite shows. He was Zach Raimi on Breaking Bad. He was Lee in Fear the Walking Dead. He has kind of been one of those guys, when you see his face, you kind of go, I know I've seen him in other things. And, of course, now he is Sergeant Gary Travis in our favorite show, Vindication. And we are so excited to wrap up the Vindication Wednesdays because Season 2 just ended last week. And I'm so excited to have him here. Please welcome to Expanding Your Search, Todd Terry, everybody. Todd, thank you so much for coming and being with us today.
Thank you. What an introduction, man. I appreciate you having me.
It's been a real pleasure to just watch this show develop over the years and through the seasons now. And before we really jump into Vindication, let's talk a little bit about you. I know that some of our fans and some of our followers of our show and our congregation, this is kind of a new thing for them. The whole faith-based film thing has been kind of a growing thing. So some folks are familiar with you, some folks aren't. So let's get started with you. Tell us about what was your first role? How'd you get started?
So I started in high school as far as just taking drama classes. And for me, acting was therapy. I was a fairly shy kid, and it just enabled me to kind of communicate things that I probably wouldn't feel safe to communicate emotionally, in any other environment. So that's kind of, the reason I did acting. I ended up loving it, and then I pursued it and went, to the schools. Some of them were short times at the schools you mentioned, but and from there, I think I'm trying to think what my first commercial was. It could have been like Bell's Department Store or Brahms or,
Wow.
something like that,
Yeah.
Years ago. In fact, I have a lot of that old footage, which is always fun to pull out, and your kids laugh at you because you look like a total idiot, but, but it's fun. And I just stuck with it. And that's what I tell other people that want to do this. You stick in it long enough, you'll end up working. But, you're constantly job interviewing when you're an actor. So, a lot of people make the joke, you're an actor, so where do you wait tables? That, that's kind of like what it is early on until you kind of get into a groove. So I feel real fortunate to still be working.
I know that we saw you in. We were big Breaking Bad fans, and we saw you in that. And then, of course, you were in Fear the Walking Dead, and you've been in a lot of other big mainstream shows. What was it like getting to work on a big show like that?
Well, they're run like a well-oiled machine. So, a lot of the glitz and glamour that people think of with acting, it's a business. And, you get on there and there's a ton of people involved. When there's so many people involved, they have to regulate everything. Everyone has a specific job, in the production aspect of it. The actors have to do specific things. So I wish I could say it's super romantic. It's fun when you get to do a new job that, has some people you've seen on screen. It's a blast. But, at the end of the day, people are people. And I just feel fortunate to have had all the opportunities. I can't say what would be my number one experience because they all have their pluses and some have their minuses. But
Sure.
But they're all fun.
I know that with a career that has spanned as long as yours, you've probably worked on just about every kind of set that you can imagine. You hear a lot of folks talk about what it's like to be a believer in Hollywood, and I know that a lot of things you film are out of Texas. But what was your journey to Christ like, and how did that come about, and how long has that been?
So I grew up in the church. I was, baptized as a kid, and then for years just went off, did my own thing, went to camp, Kanakuk camp in Missouri.
Yeah.
I remember rededicating my life to Christ there in a way that I was tangible for me. And I knew what I was doing. And then I just went off, I was into all sorts of new age type, theology.
Yeah.
And it wasn't till I was probably late 30s, I met my wife and we started arguing. Basically, we argued early on. Our relationship is great, but early on, that's when we had all our tough times. But we would argue before we were married about, God, and I was like, well, could be Buddha, could be whatever. I believed in God, I believed in Jesus, but, it was just all mixed together. And I went to a Bible study here in Texas, and, it's funny, some things that a pastor can say can offend some people, but for me, it was right on the money. And it was that you're wicked, meaning me or whoever, but God still loves you. And I totally related to that. I was like, yeah, I feel that way, but God still loves you. And, it allowed me to come to Christ without cleaning up, so to speak.
Yeah.
And allowing him to clean me up. It's what sanctification is all about. And it's not to say, hey, you continue in your sin. We all sin. We all fall short of the glory of God. But it was just that pressure was taken off for me to clean up because I never was successful at it. So that's kind of my long and short. And I've been a believer as far as walking with the Lord since I got married. So that's 24 years married. So roughly 25, 26 years.
What an incredible story. Now, is it as tough as the rumors? I mean, you hear all kinds of things. To really be a believer and accept roles or maybe reject roles or that kind of thing. What's that process like for you?
Yeah, that's been a faith walk too. I've made some bad decisions, and I'm not going to tell them on here, but I have made some decisions that I went, that was just dumb. Why did I do that? I gotten to the point where if it's something that I've got to check in my spirit, I'll often pray, Lord, shut this door if you don't want me to be there. That's one way. I've been in one specific situation where I just felt pressed by the Holy Spirit to pray. And it wasn't like, you better pray. It was just this sense of I wanted to pray. And I've never prayed that hard before going on a job. And I didn't know why. And I got there and I got some dialogue that I really didn't feel comfortable saying, but I was also already hired and I hadn't seen it before. And I was like, look, Lord, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to do what's before me because I'm honoring the fact that I was hired for this job. And I got fired. First acting job I've ever been fired from.
Wow.
But it was such a God thing for me because I didn't know what to do and I didn't know why I prayed fervently before. And then the director of that particular project got me hooked up with another director on another project that was a huge blessing through a church, actually here in Dallas in South Lake. And I got to do two years of this show called The Elevator, which is a faith experience show. So anyway, it's great. God's faithful, even when I don't know what to do.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great to hear. We've heard that from some of your co-stars on the show, the same kind of thing, that Lord, shut the doors that need to be shut. That's such an awesome thing. All right, let's get to it. Let's talk about the show because, man, we've worn out every Wednesday with so many twists and turns and ups and downs. At times we felt like we were riding a roller coaster. And we're going to get to the season finale because I've got so much going through my head right now because when you walked by at the closing shot with your sunglasses on, I was screaming at the TV. I was like, this cannot be the end. Please do not end here. And then the credits start rolling, and I was like, oh, my gosh, they did. They did it. They ended it here. This show has really grown. So, I mean, from the first show to now, it has grown leaps and bounds. I know Jared does a great job with the writing and stuff, but even the cast and the act, everything's gotten so good. What's the secret sauce here? I mean, is there something going on behind the scenes that you guys are just killing it? I mean, you're just killing it.
Oh, no, I appreciate that. I think, it takes a village, so to speak. Everybody's got a part in this. And honestly, from an actor standpoint, the longer you go through with a show, and honestly, I've had leads in film stuff before, but not on a TV series. So it's definitely a different animal because you don't know what the next episode holds. So your character is being created in real time, so to speak, once you go and film a new episode. But I think the more you get to know a character, and I would say probably anybody on the show would say this, the more familiar. And so you can take some risks and, just really meld into that character more. Vindication started off as a short film. So that first episode in season 1 was a short film. That's all it was. And then Jared, you probably know this, decided to turn it into a series. So just those relationships have ramped up through season 1 and season 2. And the production value in season 2, I think, has really stepped up. I mean, there's so many people to just give a pat on the back, especially in the crew, Jared, obviously, but, as the actors, we're just, and I'm not trying to be falsely humble, we're a small part in the bigger picture because without all those other things, you wouldn't have it. The story, the editing and all and whatnot. So,
okay. How did they find you? I know that, you had a good career coming into that anyway. How did Jared hook up with you? Tell us a little bit of that story. How did he land on you?
So there was I think it's called Christian Media Artists. The acronym may be wrong, but it was a monthly meeting that they have nationwide in different cities. And there was one in Dallas. And I happened to be there, I think, talking about a movie I'd done called Beyond the Farthest Star, which was actually one of my first faith-based films. And then Jared came up afterwards and said, hey, I've got this short film I want to do. Would you want to be a part? And that's basically the story. And that's where I met Ben Davies. And, and I'd actually worked with the DP, Ron Gonzalez, in the past. Actually, I have video of he and I as actors in like a Chiklis video. It's so funny, man, just to see us when we were younger. But anyway, that's basically the story. I met him at a CMA meeting.
Wow. I mean, I would have been excited. I know he tells the story that he was extremely excited to get a chance to talk to you. I feel the same way. It would just been awesome. All right. So as this whole thing has grown, the production value's grown, the stories have gotten just so ramped up. What are some highlights that stick out to you from this season? Because we found ourselves laughing a lot, feeling sorry for people a lot. And what are some of the ones for you?
Golly, that is so hard. I always hope to find humorous moments in something, especially, with a show like this that's got a lot of drama. So I always love those moments when, you can find that the humor in that character, or just between two characters. I absolutely love Janet. Candace Kirkpatrick is such an encouraging person. Yeah. I mean, I just want to give her props because she's awesome. Just a great encourager. It was great having TC on the show as a new character, and then Cameron Arnett, and just some of those relational things like the jail scene, and then also the prison, scene with my mom.
Yes.
That was powerful. And honestly, I didn't know what was going to happen there. I mean, you as an actor, you kind of prepare, and then, you pray God comes in there and
he did
allows it, come forth. But, so I would say those were some of the moments that I just really remember, those experiences, being able to throw the football to TC Stalling, who was a professional player, and actually not look like a total dork was pretty cool.
Okay, let's talk. We're gonna try and wrap this up real quick, but I just want to talk about that scene in the jail when you filmed with Doris, your mother. There, the emotion was so strong there. Do we feel like that going forward, we're going to see this relationship grow outside of the jail, maybe?
Well, I'll give you this caveat. I have no idea because Jared shares nothing with me.
Okay.
I would think from a story point of view, you have to have that because that's a new aspect, at least of Travis's life. And just, she was so intertwined in the storyline from the beginning. So I think you definitely have to continue her on. I wish I knew.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was just going to say the way they wove that story throughout kind of sprung it on us this season, but then they showed the clips of your character being a kid and her leaving you at home by yourself and things like that, and it just made so much sense. But then the break that you have at the end there was so powerful, and I just got to tell you, you killed that scene. It was so great. All right, next question then is, do you know who's in the body bag?
Yeah. No, even I don't think Jared would. I don't know that Jared's told anybody, to be honest with you. There may be some people that know, but I have no idea. I have speculations, but I'm not going to say them here.
Yeah. We did too, but we same thing. We were like, I don't know. Maybe that's probably reading too much into it. But we did shout at the TV at that point. You got us.
It's a frustration. He is such a good cliffhanger, director, storyteller. It's golly, because there were several, throughout this season that just left you going, wait, I want to see the next episode.
Yes, exactly. When Tomlinson was talking to the bad guy, that was pretty awesome. We couldn't believe that one. And when Joe was arrested, it was just multiple times we were like, what is going on? So, okay, Todd, you got 4 movies coming out next year. Where do you have time to even stop and pause?
Well, it's fun. That they take a concentrated amount of time when you're filming them. Like the Running the Bases film we shot in Arkansas this summer, and I was gone for almost a month. And this one I'm doing now, I'm wrapping this next Friday. You end up having some time because it's so concentrated, but when they come out all at once, it looks like, wow, you have no time at all. But I do. I have time to be with my family. Good. I sell residential real estate as well.
Oh, is that right?
On top of it. Yeah. So my life is very busy, and I'm grateful. But yeah, it's not wearing me out where I'm not enjoying it. I'll put it that way.
One of those you're actually you made with Cameron, which is one of your co-stars on Vindication.
Yeah, such a great guy, just such a giver, and really, really appreciate him. So let's enjoy. In fact, he and I have a really kind of heavy scene in Running the Bases that I'm anxious to see as well.
Oh, my goodness. When does that come out?
I wish I knew. I am assuming, I'm assuming sometime, maybe early spring. I'm guessing, but I don't know.
All right. And then we've heard a lot of good things about Out of Darkness.
Pulled from Darkness.
Pulled from Darkness, yes. We've heard a lot of good things about that. Of course, we have some shared friends in the business that kind of turned us on to George. what's your role in that?
You're not going to believe it.
Away, but yeah.
Well, no, I actually play a Russian gangster. And so, most people are going to go, you really Russian gangster? So, but yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it, but I worked on the character dialect and all that. So hopefully everything comes across, but George is such a great director, and I've seen piecemeal pieces of it, but not the whole project whatsoever. Just like little snippets they may send out in pictures and whatnot.
It just looked, from what I've seen of it so far, it looks amazing. Okay, last question, and we'll let you head for the day. How's the getting in shape going? Because you said the other day on the post show that Detective Travis is going to be in better shape for next season.
No, I'm committed, man. I am so committed. No, I it's not that I avoid working out. My wife is a fitness trainer, and so she is constantly, in shape. And it's not that I stay out of shape, but I just don't enjoy it as much as she does. But I am committed, and so we'll see what happens. God willing, I stick with it. But I have started my process.
Well, best of luck to you, Todd. Thank you so much for coming on to the show today. This is Todd Terry, everybody. He plays Sergeant Gary Travis on our favorite show, Vindication. If you'd like to follow along on wherever he is filming or on his journey, there it is, toddterryvideo.com, vindicationseries.com for the TV show. You can also follow along on Instagram, Todd Terry Actor. On Facebook and Instagram, you can follow along the TV show Vindication Series. And on Pureflix and Amazon Prime, that you can binge watch the whole thing. You don't have to watch it through the whole, wait for the next season like we did. But we're kind of glad we did it that way because it worked into our show a little bit better. It's on Pureflix and Amazon Prime. Go and see it now. The more people that watch it and share about it, the better the chances are that they get season 3. Todd, it has been a pleasure to meet you and a pleasure to talk to you, and we are looking forward and rooting for season 3.
Thank you, Brent. I really appreciate you.
Have a great rest of your day. That's Todd Terry, everybody. And now let's stop for directions. As you hear somebody like Todd talk and just knowing about his career and how humble he still is and all the things that he's done, it's such a great thing. And this is the thing that I was really taken with when I was talking to him, is that in spite of the success that he's had, in spite of all the things that he's done, the true meaning of success for him is following his heart. And that there is so much that we could be doing out there and still be doing, on our own and achieving success. But real success comes from following the plan of God for your life. And even though he has really, when you look at the industry standards, he's been to the mountaintop. He's been to, a lot of places that a lot of actors really want to go to. And now he realizes that there's always more that you can be doing for the kingdom. And I want to encourage you with that today. No matter where you are, no matter what you've done, no matter what failures you've seen or what successes you've had, God still has something that he wants to do in your life. He still wants to take you somewhere. He still wants to do something with you. And he still wants you to find your niche that serves him at full capacity. Right now, Todd is enjoying a real peak in his career because he's kept his heart right. And even though, Vindication has ended his second season, we're rooting for season 3, God's still using him. He's got 4 movies coming out next year that are incredible. And so the thing is this: if you want to really achieve true success in your life, it isn't just about what the experts tell you. It's not just about what people think. It's about what you can follow peaceably about in your heart. And if that's what you want to do, you'll follow God and you'll see great, great, great success that allows you to keep your sanity and peace in your heart. That's going to wrap it up for the show today. I'm so grateful to Todd Terry for coming by and being with us today. I just can't believe that we got a chance to finally talk to Sergeant Travis. Listen, share about Vindication. They really need a good push so that they can achieve season 3, and we can't wait to see that happen. Thanks so much to Todd and Jared and everybody in the cast that joined us throughout the season as we help to promote Vindication every Wednesday throughout the season. It's been a great, great, great season. Until next time, I hope we found what you were looking for. Thanks to Jodi over there in the control room for making another great show. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @ExpandingYourSearch on Facebook and Instagram and @ExpandingSearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We're available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take some time today to expand your search and stop for